All right, in our continuing series with the CD4069, today we're going to be taking a look at this circuit right here, which is an oscillator, crystal oscillator. And this is a better picture here. So you have an inverter, and then you feed it back around. And you have to you put a crystal in here, and so there's no DC path here, and you have to kind of bias the input up to its middle, so it's acting as a linear device. And so that's what this resistor here does, this feedback resistor. It's quite large. This one's 2.2 mega ohms, but you can have anywhere somewhere around a mega ohm is fine. This particular resistor is optional, so that just keeps, if you have a large current spike going around here, you can sort of generate harmonics, and so if you need to like slow it down a bit, this resistor here will slow down any spikes. If your oscillator seems to have harmonics and it's just not acting right or whatever, you can add this resistor, but most of the time it's not there. All right, let's take a look here. Here's another one. Again, we've got a 2.2, 32, and then the effective capacitance of the crystal is about 16 picofarads. And anyway, this is a nice app note if you want to read about these things. This is Texas Instruments app note SZZA 043, January of 2004. So it talks about using unbuffered inverters in oscillator circuits. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So let's wire one up. All right, so here I have one. I've got a crystal in there. I'm loading the crystal down with some 33 picofarad capacitors, and I have a 1 mega ohm resistor feedback, okay? And let's go take a look at what we got on the scope here. Let me change the exposure a bit. There we go. So on the top here is our oscillator. So it's going up and down, nice and rounding too. And I have a frequency counter set up here. Let's see here. Let me change this a bit. Let's get rid of this. Our counter. Let's see here. How do I detach it? Let's see here, list. Yeah, there we go. Now I can detach it. Counter. I think I can detach it. Tab. Let's try that again. Counters. Okay. There's our counter. Oh, here we go. Now I can detach it. Yeah, that's what I like. So you can break these things off and put them somewhere else. And then you have most of the screen available up and down. All right, so here's our crystal. It is a 12.288 megahertz, and we're oscillating a little bit slower, 2.85, okay? And this down here is an FFT, and so we can see the harmonic, the fundamental, and then all the harmonics. So it's mostly a square wave. It has roundy corners, but it's mostly a square wave. Okay. So you might ask, why isn't it? We bought a 2.88. Why isn't it 2.88? Right? Well, you can do something called crystal loading. You can actually make the crystal act a little bit different by putting different amounts of capacitance on it. So let me change the exposure here again. All right, so this one said it's like a 16 picofarad effective, and then if you change this capacitance, then you have this kind of divider. These two act as and these two act as a divider. So like it's like a voltage divider in AC by having different values here. So if you modify this capacitance here, you can kind of get it to oscillate at different frequencies. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a variable capacitor. So let's see, let me move this one over here, there, and then let's add this one over here. Let's see here, I'm going to move this guy over one. Okay, then we can add this one to ground. All right, so now I have two capacitors in series, and then you can adjust these to give you the capacitance value you want. It's going to lower that 33 picofarads down a bit because the two capacitors are in series, right? If they were in parallel, it would add. In series, they subtract. And if we go back to our oscilloscope, now you can see we're at 2.8801. Okay, so I did tweak the that capacitor, and to get our crystal to go where we want it to go. All right. So then what you can do is you can adjust your camera again. Isn't that fun? You can get out a capacitor meter and take out that capacitor you were using and then go measure it. Okay. And so it's about 8.8. Can you see that? There you go. 8.8 picofarads. So we 8.9 picofarads. So you know you could do that. Use one adjustment. So if you didn't want to, if you just needed to be close, you can do it this way. If you want to actually adjust it, then leave that adjustable capacitor in your circuit. Although it's expensive, right? But you'll see a lot of like frequency counters and stuff have an adjustable tweak on the oscillator if you need something more accurate. All right, so this one did something that I didn't talk about. It also added a Schmidt trigger on its output to clean it up. I actually just used a second inverter on mine, and that allows it to have a high impedance node here, and it just acts as a buffer. This one has 50 picofarads on the output. That's kind of weird. But anyway, I just put an extra, used up part of my 4069, and that's what we did today. So there you go, crystal oscillators. Yeah, they're pretty straightforward.